Hello everyone and welcome to our Explore Biomedical Science webinar. The webinar will be presented by Dr. Mohammad Aleskandarany. If you have any questions throughout the presentation, please drop them in the Q&A box and we'll run through them at the end. So let's get started. First, would you like to introduce yourself, Mohammad?
Thank you, Jessica. This is my pleasure today to be with you in this webinar. My name is Dr. Mohammad Aleskandarany. I'm a senior lecturer of biomedical science here at Derby since 2022. I am a pathologist by training, so I've been graduated from the medical school and then joined the pathology department as a lecturer. Then I finished my master's degree in molecular pathology. Then I moved to the UK to got my PhD 2007 to 11 from the School of Medicine in the Nottingham University. To cut the story short, I worked as a consultant pathology in Egypt, and then I came to Nottingham again in 2014 to 2020, and I'm here in Derby from 2022. Worked as a biomedical scientist and as a senior lecturer of pathology, and mainly teaching pathology to the students in the different years, as well as to the postgraduate master's students and supervising PhD students as well. I have been leading this program for the past 3 years, and now I'm doing something different from the leading this program. Thank you, Jess. So in here we have this presentation today to say, why would you study? Why would you pick the biomedical science in Derby University? First, biomedical science is a degree which will equip you with the essential knowledge and skills to become a biomedical scientist. And a biomedical scientist is a person who is qualified to work behind the scene in the clinical laboratories, whether it is NHS laboratory or this is investigation laboratory in the private setting. You can work as a researcher, you can work as a chemist, you can work as a teacher, and we will see some of the career path later on in this presentation. But this is the main task of this degree, is to equip you with the essential skills and knowledge needed for people to work behind the scene in the clinical laboratories in NHS. Why this is happening? Because our degree is accredited by the IBMS. Maybe we put some details in the next slides as well about the IBMS, and it's accrediting our degree. But this degree will take you in a very nice journey through the human body, starting from the very beginning of the structure of the human body in terms of the anatomy, the biochemistry, and then the genetics. And then in the second year, you will study some clinical disciplines like pathology, study of the diseases, study of hematology, which is study of blood diseases and how the normal and diseased blood look like, which is also linked to the transfusion science. You will study microbiology and medical microbiology, the different organisms, how they produce the disease, how we can detect them. Clinical biochemistry, very advanced module in the final year, and also the professional practice, how to do a specific research, which is in the final year research project. And all this is done in a way which is very integrated to bring the knowledge and the skills as well as the attributes needed for a biomedical scientist. And again, I repeat, this is accredited, meaning there is an independent body, which is an Institute of Medical Science, which is overseeing what we deliver, and how we assess students is up to the required benchmark in the field. So the University of Derby Biomedical Science division is having this nice student feedback. And if you see, these are the feedback given by the students, the final year students. Every year in any university over the UK are sent a unique link when they can give feedback about 7 important domains of the course they have studied. And the results are called the NSS, or National Student Survey, over the UK for the higher education students. And you can see the Derby University is having this very nice and advanced positions in the academic support. We support our students academically and in any extracurricular activities as well. We are number 25 top in the country. Assessment and feedback, which is very important, because we are trying to give the student the best advice in how to progress in their skills in terms of how to report, how to present, how to work as a team, which are the so-called and very well needed and required by the employers, which are the transferable skills. Also, the biomedical science in the UK is number 20, number 30. We have also other domains which have been released very recently for the latest NSS, which put us in a very good position in why students choose us to pick their undergraduate degree. The important thing also as well, we have also very good and excellent progression schemes and routes for our undergraduate students. We have two very successful degrees here in the biomedical science, which is Master of Biomedical Science. Again, this is accredited by the IBMS. And also have the Master of Research in Molecular Medicine, the very successful degree, where you will study it's called Level 7 study, because advanced postgraduate study. You will study different modules also integrated to bring you to the cutting edge and the benchmark criteria required for a student at the postgraduate level. And also there is here in Derby, there is some kind of a scholarship which is offered to students who progress from the undergrad degree, for instance, the biomedical science degree to the Master of Medical Science of MRes. There is some kind of commission of the fees of this degree if you wanted to enroll into one of them. Offered by the university here as a kind of commission. And also one of the very good route for students here, if you are in the biomedical science and you get 2-1 at least, which is merit, is not something difficult to get. If you get distinction, which is the best, you can join the Masters in Diagnostic Radiography here in Derby. It is an open to applicants from the biomedical science degree when they get distinction or at least 2-1 in their final degree classification. And if you get this master's degree in diagnostic radiography following your undergraduate qualification with biomedical science, you definitely can pursue and complete your portfolio with the HCPC registration, and then you become a qualified radiographer. This is a good route for those who may not be able to join the undergraduate degree in radiography, diagnostic radiography. Then we get the degree in biomedical science, which equip us to be able to enroll into the diagnostic radiography masters, and then to become a qualified radiographer following the HCPC registration. One of the main things we have also in our program is the placement year and practical experiences. We always in our teaching, this is one of the main domain which is present and important to fulfill in our degree based on the IBMS requirement, is to embed and integrate the practical skills and tasks into all of our modules. So it is not just a theory in what we teach and deliver. It's also equipped with the skills and practical experience is always gained through different laboratory practical sessions, as well as some extracurricular activities students can do, like applying for a range of specific research grants internally in the university here while they are still in the undergraduate degree. And also we have many opportunities when the students can have the so-called 30 hours specific practical experience or micro placement. And also we have very important route which we are in collaboration with the Royal Derby Hospital, Nottingham University Hospitals, and the City Hospital, as well as the Queen Medical Center. We have this relationship with these three organizations where we can send our students in placements for full year to have hands-on practice in the laboratories of these hospitals to prepare them for the being a registered HCPC biomedical scientist when they finish their placement. This is definitely after 2 years. If you finish the first year, second year, you stop your study, you go into placement for 1 year from September to September the following year, then you finish the placement, you build on your practical portfolio of skills, and you prepare for the HCPC registration portfolio. Then you come back to finish your final degree, and then you will have this complete year of practical experience, and it is done in a very good way in the hospitals, where they rotate you in different laboratories: the histopathology, the microbiology, clinical biochemistry, genetics lab, and sometimes they put you in very specific place or laboratory according to your preference, and your inclination to become a biomedical scientist working in histology lab or a microbiology lab, or whatever you choose. So this placement is by, again, our teamwork with our employer liaison group, which is a very active group in bringing these opportunities. The hospitals are offering the placement, and we are to advertise them in the near the end of the second year, and the students are to apply and be shortlisted, and then there should be some interview from the hospital side, and you will be enrolled into this. When you finish, you got your portfolio built up and enhance it, as well as in many of the cases, you may be offered a post or a job into this hospital where you finished your practical based on your performance. So we are very keen to build in the practical side of things into our students while they are on the track of their degree. The facilities we have just in this slide, you are just giving some of the facilities we have, or the ones we call them outstanding facilities. We have very modern cutting edge labs, including the omics lab. And when we say the omics, it's sometimes a weird word, but it is an acronym pointing to having some very advanced assay or assessment of maybe our proteins, our genes, our enzymes in any type of sample, whether it is a tissue sample or it is a blood sample or a cerebrospinal fluid sample, in a very global way. You can maybe assess or assay hundreds of proteins, hundreds of enzymes, or hundreds of hormones, hundreds of genes at the same time using this omics facility, which is very advanced here. We have also novel molecular and microbiology labs. All these are used in the teaching as well as in the student research projects, which is in the final year. We have also, which is started this September, the new bioscience lab. This is a super lab which can accommodate 200 students working in practical experiments at the same time, and they can also be split into 4 different groups working separately without disturbing each other in a very smart system of sound transmission and teaching. And this lab, if you have heard in the news, has cost to 17.6 million. In addition to the research lab, which is used by our researchers, our academics, to do their research, and sometime for the students in especially the tissue culture lab, which is present as part of the super lab, they use it in their final year project. So these facilities are there, they're cutting edge, and they are very well managed in the way that you don't miss anything as in this current era of advancement in the technologies of laboratory practice. Again, this is a point which I mentioned previously, which is the accreditation by the IBMS. This is another thing which students should think before they apply for any degree, whether it is our degree or any degree, is that there is an independent body which is overseeing how the program is designed, how it is delivered, how the assessment is done, how the students are given feedback. Is it up to the benchmark required in the different domains of the knowledge, the skills, the attributes, or not? If this is left to the university without being accredited, sometimes the quality of teaching, the quality of assessment is not up to what is required in terms of the quality assurance issues in the higher education. The IBMS here is there, and the IBMS is the institute which also will be important when you are to put your application for the HCBC registration to become a registered accredited biomedical scientists. The IBMS is working with the HCBC to produce this kind of registering the IBMS to become accredited to work on the NHS laboratories. Research. All our, and I mean all means all our academics who are teaching in the program of medical science are research active, and you can maybe yourself go to the web pages of our academics and see the research we are producing here, and different disciplines, as we will see in the coming slides, is covering the many disciplines of the human health and the diseases, mostly pre and post pregnancy health, tackling diabetes, pneumonia, and cancer. Cancer studies and cancer research is very advanced. You have HPV studies of the nasopharyngeal cancer, of cervical cancer, myself working in breast cancer. Other people are working in melanomas and in other malignant diseases as well, using the tissue culture models, using the animal models, and using the human tissues as well. The omics facilities is enabling us to study the Alzheimer's disease, the dementias, and many of the metabolic diseases as well, because we have also the in vitro model for drug efficacy and also for toxicology. All this stuff are here, and the equipment is there, the consumables are there, and the expertise of our expert academics is producing this impactful research in terms of the published paper, book chapters, conference presentation, plenary talks, and all these are there, and continuously we are producing in this aspect, which in other terms, very important in our research informed teaching. We don't just bring to you the theory and the knowledge present in the textbooks. We are bringing to you our expert in generating the evidence, working on the tissues, working on the samples and the humans, to bring the evidence to your door while you are with us in this degree. And this either I mentioned in the previous slide, these are the domains we have many clusters, which are a kind of hierarchy we have in the research side. We have diabesity, which is studying the obesity as well as diabetes, cardiovascular diseases, developmental and diagnostic treatment using the Aptamer technology, very cutting edge technology now in generating novel therapeutic targets for different diseases, including cancer. We have also the novel intracellular for treatment and management of diabetes, trophoblast, which is some kind of we call it the proliferation and invasion strategies of the cells in case of the reproductive histology and pathology. We have also the mechanisms leading to insulin resistance, very important cause of many diseases, including type 2 diabetes and present in obesity. The cancer studies is a very big domain, and it's called the multidisciplinary research, where we do our research here in Derby using our facility, as well as collaborating with others, academics and research institutions nationwide and also worldwide. To the important point, which is how about the career which a graduate from biomedical science degree can start or can pursue. Very many careers can be taken and prompted by these graduates from us. The number one is, as we said earlier, diagnostic radiographer. Following graduation with us with distinction or with 2-1, you can join the masters in diagnostic radiography, then the HCP registration, then you become a registered diagnostic radiographer. You can have a research scientist in NHS diagnostic scientist. This is the biomedical scientist, which I emphasized earlier. Medical professional, healthcare specialist, pharmaceutical researcher. You can be an academic to lecture the students and do your own research. Discovery, the physiotherapist, sport trainer, performance counseling, food technology. Very many routes of career you can initiate and start following, and it will depend on your personal preference. But at this point, we in the degree and in the division here in the biomedical science division, we offer very good opportunity for the students of the career choice, how to write their CV, how they write their personal statement, how to do the interview by producing this kind of mock interview. And we have many career conferences and career days which are organized by the university to bring the employers and also the academics, the students in one place, and to devise how can the students start their career. And also we have the Career and Employability Service, which is a dedicated team of expert professionals here to help the students in understanding how the career path can be initiated. This is very good opportunity in this. And you see this in the NSS, as I mentioned earlier, from the student satisfaction of what we provide as professional service. If you want to contact us, again, if any query about the degree, you can contact myself and you can contact the marketing team. You will see in our website, you will see the marketing team emails and contact details. You will see also myself and other academics who are the teaching in this important program. You can pick their names. When you go into the webpage of the Biomedical Science, you can easily find out the details of somebody to contact and inquire and get more information of the topic you are asking about.
Perfect. Thanks, Mohammed. That was a really great informative
Thank you very much.
presentation.
Thank you so much.
We have a couple of questions. So the first one is, what learning resources are available? So could you mention the on-campus and online versions, please?
Yes, thank you very much. The learning resources, if you are to tell, I have seen here since I joined Derby is a fantastic library to the top level of library, where you can have all the textbooks in the hard copies, and also the space you can have to have your own study and do your assignment. Very well dedicated, quiet space in a very nice layout. You would like to stay here rather than going home to study. And also we have many other places over the campus where students can sit and have their laptop and can have their plug-in to charge their laptop and their mobile. Very kindly and very friendly environment to let the students learn and read and do their assignment in a very quiet environment. And the online thing is, again, the university is subscribed to the massive number of publishers, and you will find the different journals, different databases, the different textbooks, all of them required for any degree offered by the University of Derby, and specifically for the biomedical science. And also the university has subscribed to some very good things which I like too much, which is called Learn Science, where we also reinforce the students' learning, especially in the practical sessions, by a very good platform, which is commercial one. The university subscribed to it and paid for it for many years now, and subscribed for this year, to also provide the students with some kind of simulations and some kind of handy and they do it at home or in their own time to do the experiment in a simulation way, and also to give them very good information. So the resources in the library, you can search any full text article, any full text textbook, and these also are provided. Every module, students will get the reading list, where the academic leading the module will guide the students to the best resources they can utilize to enhance their knowledge and understanding for the theory as well as for the practical.
Great, thank you. There's just one last question. So, can students get involved in research?
Definitely, yes. And the research is two things. One is the one which is mandatory, level 6, or we say this is the final year research project. This is a 40 credit module. Students will be choosing and maybe working with their choosing a supervisor. They work together to form the proposal, the ethical approval, and they do the research which is mostly wet lab, or the students will get into the lab to do their experiment, produce the results, and then write the dissertation and defend the dissertation as well, sometime in a presentation or so. This is the one which is mandatory, where the students are doing their own research, and many of our students get distinction in this module, which is a weight of 2 modules in the final year. Also, the students have many opportunities which are in-campus opportunities, like it's called URSS scheme, where the university is offering some scholarships where the students can talk to any of the academics they wish to start research with. They discuss an idea, they apply, students apply with the supervisor, and they get the fund. We have many students get through this scheme, and many of them have also presented their work, the results of their research, which can happen especially in summer. In one of the years of the study, they presented their work into conferences, and also some of them published their research because they got very fascinating results from this research.
Brilliant, thank you. That's all the questions we have for this evening. So I'll hand back to you now just to say a final word.
Thank you very much for having me, and I think maybe we have covered most of the aspects which can maybe tell about what we are offering, what we are presenting, what we do here in the degree, what the degree entails, what are the facilities we have, and what are the support we offer to our students. But still, if the applicants and students feel that there is something missing or something still need clarification, they are very welcome to contact us in the ways I mentioned earlier to clarify things for them. And thank you for having me.